All right, so when I moved to Seattle, I had no idea of what area would be right for me and my family.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at 4 different neighborhoods in the Seattle area that could possibly work for you. But one of the most important things that we're going to do is hopefully knock out some that don't work for you.
And we're getting after it right now.
Let's go.
All right, so here we are. Our first neighborhood is going to be Magnolia. We're out here at Fisherman's Terminal. Now downtown you have Pike Place Market, but when you live out here in Magnolia, you get Fisherman's Terminal. Now you see all the boats out here, which are super amazing. A really great thing to have, because what happens is when you come into the neighborhood after a long day, you can get fresh seafood served up by Chinooks. There's also wild salmon there that the fishermen bring their fresh seafood in for you to have and buy. It's really convenient and it's really, really nice. So while this is also a really fun place to just come out here, take a look at the boats, eat some great seafood, there's also some celebrity boats out here, like some of the boats from Deadliest Catch. So if you want to be around that level of fishermen, this is the spot. So if fishing is in your future or you really enjoy it, Magnolia is a great neighborhood, but ultimately Magnolia is our #1 selected neighborhoods for families. So right now we're gonna jump back in the car. We're gonna cruise into their little Main Street area so that you can see why we have such a heart for this area when it comes to families.
Not being from the Seattle area, you're probably not gonna know where a bunch of these areas are, and that's completely okay. I'm gonna make this a very easy solution for you. We're gonna hop right into Google Maps and we're gonna take a look at where Magnolia is. Let's jump into it. All right, so here we are on the map of Seattle. We're going to take a look at where Magnolia is. So Magnolia is this space right here. All right, so you're going to be kind of north and to the west of the city. Now, it's still a fantastic location. If you're at Magnolia and you want to get downtown, that's about 5 miles, and it's going to take you about 18 minutes. Now, if you want to get out of here and you're looking to fly out, and let's say you want to head down to SeaTac for the airport, this is going to be closer to about a 35-minute drive for you. But you're right here, right off the west side of the city, across from Bainbridge Island, and it is a premier location here in Seattle.
Hey guys, we're down here in the area of Magnolia, super really nice area in Seattle. One of the biggest benefits to this area is that the crime is pretty low and you've got great schools. You've got the amazing Discovery Park right over here. That's the biggest park in Seattle. Some of the best schools in the area, and a really cool kind of downtown core area here. So you've got Serendipity, which is a neighborhood place to just have, lunch, coffee, hang out. They've got some good drinks in there. You've also got Pink Salt right up the way. That's a great restaurant, amazing eats. So it's really one of the reasons why it's one of our favorite neighborhoods here in Seattle. Really good for families because you've got, amazing schools with Blaine Middle School and Elementary School right over here. And yeah, it's really, some of the reasons why we love this area of Seattle. Okay, so we're out here in the Magnolia area right now, just kind of driving through the neighborhood. I want to get you guys kind of an idea of what type of area this is. Some of the driving tour here shows you some of the houses that are in the area, but also wanted to talk a little bit about what some of the average prices are here in Magnolia. So really, the median home price, which is kind of the middle, is at about $1.1 million right now. And that's actually down a little bit from last year. The average sale price, so the average from top to bottom, we're looking at about 1.4 million for homes in this area. Now, that's definitely higher than some of the home prices that you're going to see, in North Seattle, South Seattle, down into Pierce County. And so, one of the reasons why it's, a very attractive neighborhood for some people, that can also be construed as a negative, for this area. So if, higher home prices are something that really are pricing you out of the market or making it more difficult to purchase, that is something, definitely to consider when we're thinking about Magnolia as a place that you want to live. Now, one of the other things that we're seeing is over the last year, because of higher interest rates, because of, the market shifts, and what we're seeing is we have seen a little bit of an uptick in the supply of inventory that's on the market here. So last year about this time, we were at less than 1 month of inventory on market. And right now we're sitting at a little bit over 1.5 months. So we've added about 1 month's worth of inventory, which is really just how long it takes to sell a house here. Now, that is in a little bit of contrast with the new listings that are on the market here right now. New listings are actually down, by about 10% from this time last year. Now, that can be a little bit, of a positive for you as a, home buyer, because taking a little bit longer for homes to sell, that means that you could potentially not have to compete against so many other offers. Now, as a seller, on the flip side, homes are still selling at about 100% to 100.7% of what they're actually listed for. So, okay, it might take you a little bit longer to get the home sold, meaning a couple of extra weeks, but you're still going to get the price that you need. Now, you're not going to be pushed up, well above list price, where we would have seen something like that last year, but you are still going to get the price that you want for the home. So it's becoming more of a balanced market here, just like we're seeing in a lot of the other markets across the greater Seattle metro area. The biggest difference here in Magnolia is that you are going to have some higher price points, because it is a very beautiful area. It is a more of an exclusive area to get into as far as price points are concerned, but you've got some of the amazing benefits of Discovery Park, a really cool downtown area, and some really world-class elementary and middle schools. All right, guys, we are here at the Ballard Locks, just outside of Seattle. One of the cool features about the Ballard Locks here is they actually have about 40,000 ships go through the Ballard Locks every single year. Now, with 40,000 ships going through here, that makes it the busiest set of locks in the entire United States. We've also got the Botanical Garden right across the way here that makes it one of the coolest tourist attractions here in the area. Now, one of the reasons that we're here at the Ballard Locks is because we're really close to the downtown Ballard area, which is just across the locks here. So Ballard is one of the best places for retirees simply because of the walkability that it has. It offers a lot of things that are really close by. You've got shopping, restaurants, coffee shops, all kinds of cool things to walk to and be very close to here in the area. Now, another reason why retirees consider the Ballard area is because a lot of them like to boat. They like water sports. And we've got a couple of different marinas here, right here in the Ballard area. We just came from the Magnolia area where you have the ship canal. One of the reasons why people really like the Ballard area is because there's lots of boat traffic. There's some amazing views here on the area. We're gonna get up over on the hill here and show you guys some of the views from up on the hill in Ballard. But it really is one of the nicest areas here in the city of Seattle, and why a lot of people choose to retire here in Ballard.
All right, so we're taking a look right here at Ballard. You can see it's just north of Magnolia, where we were at in our first video. Ballard is about 22 minutes into downtown, and you're about 34 minutes down to SeaTac. You're still in the northwest part of Seattle. Ballard, across all this shoreline, also has 3 marinas to keep your boats. Let's go check out downtown Ballard.
All right, so we are now on Ballard Avenue Northwest, and this is one of the best places in all of Ballard. And again, one of the reasons Ballard is so great for retirees is primarily its walk score. Everything that you would need in a retirement community, Ballard has right here. First of all, this community is insanely tight knit. You have everything you could possibly want, from boutiques to restaurants, all actually just right here in this little path. So, and of course, plenty of coffee as well. So whether you want to just, take a short walk from the house, at worst, maybe a short bus ride. And there is a lot of different opportunities for shopping. For example, here in Ballard, you can either hit up big box stores like Trader Joe's or Fred Meyer's, but Luca Grocery Store is also one that you can take advantage of as well if you want something a little maybe more non-traditional on that end. There's a lot of parks here. Really, this neighborhood has everything you could ever want in this Northwest Seattle neighborhood. Actually, right here is one of my personal favorite spots. This is, of course, the Ballard Cut, ran by my buddy Tommy. This has some of the best steak and one of the largest selections of whiskey, rum, scotch you could ever imagine. In fact, Tommy is actually a world-renowned whiskey taster. So if that's something you're into, that is right here in Ballard as well. Listen, now that we've kind of given you a little bit of a breakdown of why you might fit really well into Ballard, let's hop back in the Challenger. Let's take a drive around one of these Ballard neighborhoods and see if this is the right fit for you. And remember, guys, you need to reach out to us. We're getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move to Seattle. And the reason they're reaching out to us is because we know all these spots, all these little restaurants, every nook and cranny. I'm doing a ton of research. Chris has been here literally his entire life, and we're the ones out here navigating this for you. So let's make that move even easier. Shoot us a phone call, text, or an email. All right, let's get in the car and let's roll out. All right, so as we tour these, Ballard's neighborhood, and we look at some of these homes, some of the things that make Ballard a great community for retirees, and honestly, even some young families that are doing well, is that Ballard obviously has these great, super unique properties. There are a lot of homes in these areas that have tons of bedrooms. We've seen several on the market that have upwards of 10 bedrooms right now. Now, the average cost of a home in Ballard is going to be closer to about that $950,000 mark, a little less than King County's average. So that is pretty good. Now, listen, if you're looking at these homes and you're seeing this and you're living in like Texas or Florida or like Missouri, where I came from, this sounds like a lot of money, but it's actually less than the average here in King County in general. Now, these homes here do sit on the market for about a month and a half right now. So if you're, relocating to the Seattle area, Ballard would be a place that will give you a little bit more time to breathe and kind of have a little bit more of an opportunity to ultimately, look at some homes, not feel pressured, not feel rushed into having to scoop one up. You have a little bit of opportunity if you do have a young family of, picking which school and area you want to be in compared to some of our other suburbs or the neighborhoods where homes are selling in, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Now, at the point that we're filming this, we're kind of in that spring time. School's getting ready to get out. People are making a lot of moves, but there's still only, just around 30 homes on the market right now in Ballard. I do think we're going to see that inventory tick up as we move along. And if you're watching this the end of, 2023, 2024, those stats are going to be, completely different than what I'm saying now. But as you can see, these homes are super unique. All different styles, on hills, flat land. There's great condos here, Everything is walkable. Now that you've kind of taken a look at Ballard, we are going to jump to our next neighborhood, which is going to be our most budget-friendly neighborhood, South Park, here in Seattle. And listen, you're going to want to stick around until the very, very end, because this last neighborhood we're going to show you is the most walkable, the most tight-knit, and it is the hippest neighborhood in all of Seattle. So be sure you stick around for it. All right, we'll see you guys over in South Park.
All right, so we are here at the South Park Community Center. So, cool feature about this area, South Park, is that this is one of the more affordable areas of the Seattle market. One of the cool things about this area is that the price points are going to be in the sub 700 range if we're talking about Seattle market. So average price points here at about $695. And what we're seeing in this area are homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer than some of the other areas that we've talked about. Cool features about living here in South Park are obviously this cool community center. Shout out to Carmen Martinez. She's one of the directors here and a real big advocate here in the area. So one of the things that is great about South Park is you're super close to Boeing Field, super close to SeaTac Airport. You can get up over to West Seattle, you can get to Alki Beach, and you can get down into Seattle, like the downtown core, really within like 10 or 15 minutes, you know, in each direction.
Chris just mentioned this great location. So if you're right here in South Park, you're about 12 minutes to Alki Beach. So if you want to go swimming, honestly, West Seattle's a great location for you. You're 13 minutes down to SeaTac. And like you mentioned, being super close to great employers like Boeing, you're 9 minutes right across the way to Marginal Way for Boeing.
So that's one of the reasons why people really like the South Park area when they're moving into Seattle. Affordability, accessibility, and a lot of access to, you know, employers here in the area. You've got the Starbucks building just north of us here. You've got Boeing Field, you know, just over the bridge here, over the Duwamish. So really cool area that, you know, has a lot to offer here in the Seattle market area.
And that bridge is brand new, right?
Yeah, brand new in the last few years or so. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, now you've kind of seen the South Park Community Center, which is kind of the central hub for the neighborhood. We're going to hop in the Challenger and we're going to take you around and show you what you're going to get for more of that $700,000 price point, save you a little bit of money. So let's go check it out.
All right, let's go. Okay, some of the market stats for the South Park neighborhood are median price points are going to be in the $640,000 range, and average price points are going to be in the $695,000 price range. So it's really kind of a more affordable area of Seattle if we're talking about, you know, Seattle Metro or Seattle proper. It's definitely, you know, below the Magnolia prices that we saw for 1.4, you know, definitely below some of the Ballard prices and, you know, what we're going to see up in Capitol Hill. So if you're looking for more affordability, South Park area is definitely going to be one of those markets that could be something for you to consider. There is great accessibility, like we were talking about earlier, to employers, freeways, airports here in the area. You're not so much in the downtown core, you're just south of it a little ways, but it could be a great option for you as far as affordability in the Seattle area.
All right, guys, welcome to our fourth and final neighborhood that I wanted to show you about where you should live when moving to Seattle. This is Capitol Hill.
All right, so like I said, this is our last neighborhood. It is Capitol Hill, right here, right dead central in the middle of Seattle. You are just a couple of minutes to downtown. You can pretty much walk there or just a quick short bus ride. Up in this area here, you have the botanical gardens, which are absolutely friggin' stunning. Pike and Pine, Seattle University, the Crocodile, all this stuff is right here. Let's jump back into it.
This is one of the most artistic, tight-knit communities in all of our city. You can literally do anything you want within walking distance. You can get yourself into downtown. If it's not in walking distance, it's at least just a short bus ride away to it. Capitol Hill has incredible restaurants. You have such cultural diversity here. You're going to be having opportunities to have Mexican food, Thai food, Indian food, whatever it is that you are searching for, it's definitely right here in Capitol Hill. Now, outside of food, obviously Capitol Hill has amazing coffee. You're kind of seeing a trend. If you're coming to Seattle, we got coffee. Capitol Hill is also very LGBTQ friendly, so you have a lot of that culture here. My wife really enjoys coming down here to Pike and Pine, hitting up Glossier for all of her makeup. Elliott Bay Bookstore, which we'll get up there in a minute, is one of the best bookstores in all of Seattle. Elm Candle Bar right here. You can see it. We're walking. Elm Candle Bar is a fantastic date night spot. Seems kind of silly, but you can create your own candle, kind of create your own scent. And it was a major hit. Now, on top of that, Capitol Hill also has the great Capitol Hill Block Party that typically runs late in July. There's a ton of music, a ton of vendors. See here, there it is on that building there for you. Nightlife in Capitol Hill is second to none in Seattle. So if you're looking for that vibe of getting out, really having that nightlife that everyone in the city wants, this is the spot. You literally can't walk more than a few minutes from having a bar or a new restaurant to try out. This area is really well known for its art scene. It's a little grungy, it's a little rough, but it's incredible. Another staple down here is also going to be the Crocodile. Bands like Pearl Jam, Nirvana started out playing at the Crocodile, so there's a lot of Seattle music history as well. So right here, there is the Elliott Bay Bookstore. If you're a reader like I am, that's a big spot. If you like makeup, there's Glossier, like my wife. So I can get a book, she can go get makeup. Can't beat it. The only real downside, I think, to Capitol Hill is like we parked our car just to film this little clip and it cost me 18 damn dollars. And I parked at a taco shop. I didn't really even park at like a fancy protected parking garage. Of course, you do have schools all throughout here. You have great housing. All right, well, now that we've seen a little bit of the Pike and Pine Capitol Hill area, let's hop in the Challenger. Let's take a drive to one of these Capitol Hill neighborhoods, talk a little bit about what it would look like for you to move here and live in this area. All right, let's get after it. So if Capitol Hill is kind of an area that you're interested in or fits your vibe, like I said, I think it's really, out of all of the neighborhoods in Seattle, it is the most tight-knit, most walkable, with really the most to do. But as we're taking a look at this neighborhood and as we're driving around, you know, the average price point that you're still gonna see for a home out in this area is gonna be around $940,000. That's so much higher than, I mean, really pretty much anywhere in the country. But again, it's still lower, like we looked at in Ballard, than the average for King County. One of the big advantages that people are having when they're looking here in Capitol Hill is that there is pretty much double the inventory of, I mean, if you look, for example, like Ballard. Right now, Ballard has around 30 homes on the market and Capitol Hill is sitting at around 60. The only real downside with even having more inventory is that homes are getting scooped up pretty quickly. They're only sitting on the market for 10 to 11 days, meaning if Capitol Hill, if having the proximity, if having the access to everything is super important to you, then we have to be on the ball. When you're here and we go look for homes in Capitol Hill, we can't sleep on a house. If it's right, we've got to make a move or we're going to end up missing out on it. Hey, by the way, if you've liked any of these neighborhoods, would you just do me a quick little favor? Hit that subscribe button. That way you can be the first to know about anything going on here in the local market in Seattle. All right, well, there you have it. We have looked at 4 neighborhoods for really 4 different types of people here in Seattle today. So hope that helped you guys narrow it down a little bit as you make a move out here. And again, Chris, myself, and the team, we're getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move out to Seattle. So whether you're looking at making a move in 3 days or 3 months, shoot us a phone call, text, or an email so we can help you make that smooth move out here to Seattle. And until next time, I cannot wait till you're out here so that we can show you around.
What's up, man?